Okay, hello guys. So our today's topic will be adding and subtracting like rational expression. Okay, so before we go into any example, uh, I'm gonna introduce some of the really important property first. Okay, you know those property are using to actually solving the problem below. Okay, so there's only one really important property over here, is to add and subtract like rational expression. Okay, like rational expression. So there are basically two really important property in order to solving this kind of problem. Okay, let's talk about the first one first. The first one is over here. So we have P over R plus Q over R is equal to P plus Q over R. And the condition what we have over here is R is not equal to 0, right? So that makes sense, right? So cause R is obviously the denominator, right? So R is basically, so over here, R is the denominator, right? Denominator. I think it's something spelled like that. Okay, R is the denominator and then P is the numerator. Sorry for the writing. Sorry for the writing. So keep in mind with this property. Okay, and our second property is obviously the subtraction one, right? The subtraction one. What we have is P over R minus Q over R is equal to P minus Q over R, right? And then we also have the condition R not equal to 0, right? Because you guys know it, right? For rational equation, for rational expression, the denominator cannot be 0, because if it is 0, then it doesn't make any sense, right? The solution doesn't exist. So that's why we always have R not equal to 0, the denominator not equals to 0 as a condition in order to apply it, right? Okay, so keep in mind with those two properties, because we are actually using those two properties really often. Okay, so let's moving to the question. Okay, now it's question time. So let me see. So I think we got totally six question over here. So be free to skip to the question what you really want to know it. Okay, but if you if you know most of the question, like if you know some question is easy for you, then feel free to skip it. Okay, otherwise I will basically do all the question, and okay, I will do all the question to make sure you guys, the people who don't understand everything. Okay, so the first one what we have is 7 over 18, right? And then 5 over 18. So obviously you guys should know that that's how we basically applying the property, right? So we got the same denominator, right? So we right. So as the property applied, we have something like we have z and then over r, and then we have another z over another x, and this is basically how we apply the property, right? Excuse me. Okay, so now we applying the property, right? So we got 18 as the denominator, and then 7 plus 5, which is 12 as the numerator, right? And this is not solved yet, because we are actually able to simplify it, right? So we have 12, so which is 3 multiplied by 4, right? And then 18, which is 3 multiplied by 6, right? So well, you can see we can actually cancel out 3 over here, right? And we have a 4, and then we have a 6 over here. 4 is obviously 2 multiplied by 2, right? And then 6 is 2 multiplied by 3. So you can see over here we can actually cancel another 2 over here, right? So that's leave the answer as 2 over 3 as the final solution for this question. Okay, so make sure you simplify as much as you can. Okay, so let's move into question 2 over here. I mean, you look at it, it's the same thing, right? So you have a 2, you have 2 as the same denominator, right? So you are actually able to apply the property straight away, right? You are actually able to apply the property straight away. So what you have, okay, let me record a property again. So we have a z, and then z, and then we have an x, and then r. So this is the property which we are gonna apply it, right? So here we have 2 as the denominator, and then on the numerator we have a 7 plus 9, right? Which is 16, right? Okay, so as always we have to simplify it. So we have 2, and then 16 is actually 2 multiplied by 8, right? So you can actually cancel out 2, and that leaves the final solution as a simple integer, which is 8. That's the solution for question 2. Okay, so let's move into question 3. So question 3 now, things getting a little bit complex, right? But still, you see over here we have x plus 4 and then x plus 4. They have the same denominator. So you are actually able to apply the additional property, right? So we have x squared as the numerator, and then we have a plus 3x minus 4, right? So that's basically the result after we apply the property, right? Okay, so now is the time to simplify, right? I mean, if you actually able to see it, then this simplify is quite easy. Okay, so let me actually show you the answer first. So we have x plus 4 on the denominator, and on the numerator, if you watch all of my previous videos, then you should know how to actually doing this really fast. Okay, so this is basically the result of it. Okay. Okay, so if you still don't know why I actually can get this part right away, then let me break into some details. Okay, so let me using another pen, I guess. You're gonna using some, maybe this one, or maybe a green pen. Okay, maybe a green pen. So we have x squared minus 3x minus 4, right? So the easy way to simplify this is basically this way. Okay, so you have x squared, so you have x and x, cos x multiplied by x is x squared, right? And then you have a negative 4 over here. So you have a negative 4, but you need a positive 3, right? So that's why you put a 4 and then you put a negative 1 over here, right? So you can see in this way you have a 4x, and then in that way you have a negative x, which is 3x, which is exactly what we want for the middle term, right? So you're putting a line, and then you basically write x minus 1 and then x plus 4 in this kind of way. Okay, so so if you still don't know, make sure you watch my previous video. I think, yeah, I fully explain how this method is gonna work. Okay, so now let's solve this problem first. X plus 4 and then x plus 4, both of them get cancelled, right? And then that leave the answer as x minus 1 as the final solution for question 3. Okay, that's the final solution for question 3. Okay, so let's move into question 4. Question 4, so as you can see over here, so we have a same denominator, so which you should know that we can actually apply the property straight away, right? So we have x minus 5 at the bottom, and then we have m squared minus 25 at the top, right? So obviously you are actually able to simplify this, right? So we have m minus 5, and then on the numerator we have a m squared minus 25. So we can simplify this, and then it becomes m plus 5 and then m minus 5. So if you don't know why it's working like that, then make sure you watching my previous video. Okay, but okay, so make sure you reach my previous video, but I will give you a hint over here to make you understand it, why you can simplify in this kind of way. Okay, the hint is a plus b, and then a minus b is equal to a squared minus b squared. Okay, so that's the hint over here. Okay, so I think this will make it. If you still understand, make sure you're watching my previous video. I fully, I think, yeah, I fully explain this pretty well. Okay, so let's cancel some terms over here. So we have m minus 5, let's get cancelled, and then the final solution become m plus 5, right? So that's the final solution for question 4. Okay. So let's move into question 5. Okay, so question 5, you can see is almost the same thing, right? So we can actually able to apply the subtraction property, right? Because they have the same denominator, and on the top we have x squared minus 9, right? So you can see that for both denominator and then both numerator, we can actually factor out something, right? We can actually factorize, doing some factory, right? So you can see on the, let's first focus on the denominator. We can actually factor out a 4 on the denominator, right? So it's still the same thing, right? And on the numerator, you can see we can also doing some factory, right? X plus 3 and then x minus 3, right? So a hint over here is to understand why the numerator is in this kind of way is still this one. Okay. Okay, so if you're a little bit confused, then go back to my my previous video. Okay, so we can cancel x minus 3 and then x minus 3, right? We can actually cancel it, and then that leave the answer as this one. Okay, that's the final solution of it. Right, so that's the final solution for question 5. Okay, so I think we are on our last question over here. So why don't you actually pause the video for a moment and try to solve this question by yourself? Okay, pause the video. Okay, so now let's do the question together, and hopefully you does get the same solution as I get it. Okay, you first look at the question and then you see, they have the same denominator, right? So you can actually apply the property right away, right? And then you see the sign over here is a positive, so we are doing some addition over here, right? So we are actually doing some addition over here, so right, okay. And over right now you see on both numerator and the denominator we can actually factor out some stuff, right? So let's factor the denominator first. So we have a 2 over here, and then we have y plus 4, right, for the denominator. And for the numerator, and for the numerator, you can see we can actually also factor out some terms, right? So we can actually factor out in this kind of way, right? Okay, so we can actually factor out the numerator in this kind of way. So so if if you say y, this one is y, you can actually factor out in this kind of way. So make sure you're watching my previous video, okay? Yeah, cause right. So now we are actually we can actually cancel some terms out, right? So now we can actually cancel some terms out, right? So we can actually cancel y plus 4, and then we can cancel y plus 4 on both denominator and numerator, right? Okay, so that's leave the answer as 1 over 2 and then y minus 1, right? Okay, so this can be the final solution for question 6. So hopefully everyone does get the right answer. Okay. Oh, I think there's some. Sorry. I think there's some. Oh, let me actually rewrite a little bit. I think there's some disorder over here. Oh my god. There's actually some disorder over here. Okay. I don't know why this one actually happened, but there's some disorder. Okay, so now, so this is the final solution for question 6. Okay. So hope you guys learned something from this video. Okay, and thanks for watching to this tutorial. Okay, make sure you guys like the video, and then comment something. Okay, and then also subscribe to my channel. Also subscribe to my channel. Okay, subscribe to my channel, and then I will keep updating video. Okay, so if you have some specific question, please leave a comment below, and then I will try to answer it. And or if you have something like some specific topic which you don't understand, or which you don't understand, then please leave a comment. Okay, otherwise thank you guys watching my video. See you guys on the next video.